The unexpected life of Uber Eats drivers in Australia. Uber Eats drivers are the unsung heroes of the modern world, braving the streets at all hours to deliver meals to hungry customers. But beyond the simple task of picking up and dropping off food lies a chaotic, unpredictable, and sometimes downright hilarious reality. From battling the elements to facing off against wild animals, these drivers encounter a range of unexpected incidents every day. Let's take a deep dive into what life is really like for an Uber Eats driver in Australia. Parcel thieves and the great food heist. Imagine driving through a quiet suburban street, carefully carrying a bag filled with steaming hot food. The GPS announces, "You have arrived at your destination." You step out, place the food on the doorstep, snap a picture for proof, and turn around. Just as you get back into your car, you see a shadow darting across the yard. A split second later, the food is gone. Parcel thieves aren't just after expensive gadgets and online shopping deliveries, they're after your burgers and fries too. Some even follow delivery drivers around, waiting for the perfect moment to snatch a meal before the customer gets to it. In high-theft areas, drivers have developed ninja-like reflexes, sprinting back to the car while keeping an eye out for sneaky food bandits. Some have even started knocking on doors instead of leaving food outside, hoping to outsmart the snack-snatching criminals. One Uber Eats driver recounted a story of dropping off an expensive sushi order. Just as he was about to leave, a magpie swooped down, grabbed a piece of salmon from the container, and took off. Customer arrived at the door seconds later, staring in disbelief as their gourmet sushi was flying off into the sunset. The never-ending waiting game. One of the most frustrating things for Uber Eats drivers is waiting for food. Picture this: you get an order from a popular burger joint, drive through traffic, and arrive at the restaurant. But instead of grabbing the food and heading off, you find yourself in an endless queue of fellow delivery drivers, all staring at their phones, hoping their order will be next. Some restaurants prioritize walk-in customers, leaving drivers waiting indefinitely. Others seem to have no clue what's going on. You ask the staff about the order and they give you the classic, "It'll be ready soon, mate." You wait, and wait, and wait. Meanwhile, the customer is sending messages. "Hey, why isn't my food here yet?" You want to reply, because the chef is moving slower than a snail in a traffic jam, but you settle for, "There's a slight delay." Some drivers have turned waiting time into a mini fitness session, doing push-ups, stretching, or pacing around like an expectant father outside a delivery room. Others have taken up people watching, making up life stories for every customer who walks in. And then there are those who pass the time by chatting with fellow drivers, exchanging horror stories of past deliveries. Funny tips from Uber Eats veterans. Surviving as an Uber Eats driver requires a certain level of wisdom, and veteran drivers have developed their own set of rules. 1. Never trust a milkshake lid. Might look secure, but one speed bump and your car turns into a dairy disaster. 2. Park with an escape plan. You never know when you'll need to make a quick getaway from dogs, drunk customers, or that one restaurant worker who takes 30 minutes to prepare a salad. 3. Keep a delivery face. No matter how ridiculous a customer's request is, like asking you to enter through the back door and avoid looking at their pet snake, you must smile and nod. 4. Beware of driveways. One driver learned this the hard way when he backed into a hidden ditch, getting stuck for an hour while the customer enjoyed their meal inside. Harsh winters and rainy nightmares. Winter in Australia isn't just about wearing extra layers, it's about survival. The wind howls like a wild animal, the rain comes at you sideways, and your fingers go numb within minutes. For delivery drivers, winter means fighting the elements while trying to keep food warm. One driver shared a story of delivering a piping hot pizza on a freezing night. Just as he reached the customer's house, a gust of wind blew open the box, sending the pizza flying like a frisbee. Customer opened the door just in time to see their dinner land upside down on the driveway. Rain is another enemy. Turns footpaths into slip-and-slide courses, fogs up car windows, and soaks drivers to the bone. Some customers don't realize what drivers go through and leave instructions like, place food under the mat. Drivers have to bend down in the pouring rain, tucking burgers and chips under doormats like secret agents hiding evidence. Food disasters and sudden breaks. The life of an Uber Eats driver is filled with moments of sheer panic, and one of the biggest fears is food disasters. Picture this: you're driving carefully, avoiding potholes, when suddenly red light. You slam on the brakes, and in the rearview mirror you see it happening. Perfectly stacked burgers lean forward. The fries tip over. The milkshake wobbles dangerously. And then boom. By the time you reach the customer, the meal looks like it just survived an earthquake. You try to rearrange it, but there's only so much you can do. You hand over the bag with a nervous smile, hoping they won't open it until you're safely back in your car. Pizza is another major risk. A slight tilt and all the toppings slide off. Some drivers swear that pizza deliveries are cursed, with cheese mysteriously shifting to one side no matter how careful they are. Wild animal attacks and dog chasings. Australia is known for its wildlife, and Uber Eats drivers often find themselves face to face with unexpected creatures. One driver was delivering a late-night meal when a possum suddenly jumped onto his shoulder. In the panic, he dropped the food, and the possum took full advantage, grabbing a handful of chips before scurrying away. The customer watched the whole thing and simply said, "That's Aussie wildlife for you." Dogs are another challenge. Some deliveries turn into obstacle courses, with drivers sprinting to the door while a dog charges at them like a missile. Some dogs bark aggressively but won't move, forcing drivers to negotiate peace treaties through the screen door. Others think it's a game and try to chase the delivery car down the street. The reality of an Uber Eats driver being an Uber Eats driver is an adventure filled with unexpected twists. One moment you're delivering a meal in a peaceful neighborhood, and the next you're dodging magpies, racing against a thunderstorm, or trying to explain to a customer why their milkshake exploded. It's a job that requires patience, quick reflexes, and a sense of humor. So, next time you order food, spare a thought for the driver braving the roads to bring it to you. Tip them well, because behind every delivery is a wild story waiting to be told.